This is our final recipe, and I think you're gonna love it. It's so cool. It's using, there's a lot of great heirloom tomatoes in the market. This is a Brandywine tomato, and we love the heirloom tomatoes for this preparation because they're super juicy and sweet and have just great tomato flavor, and that's what you want because this is really like a tomato flavor infusion in this really cool drink. So, and it's so easy to make. It's actually traditional like American colonial times. This is one way they used to preserve berries and fruits so they can enjoy them throughout the year. So we have 4 cups of chopped Brandywine tomatoes. Look at that color, isn't that amazing? And we're gonna put that right in here with some sugar. The sugar, what it does, sugar is a preservative, and it's going to extract the juices and flavor from the tomatoes. We're gonna add some aromatics, some fresh basil. We're making a tomato basil carbonated shrub drink. That word shrub is from the Arabic language, actually, sharab, which means to drink. So a little bit of history on that. All you have to do is mix up your chopped tomatoes and sugar and optional aromatics. I made one of these recently. We made one with rosemary too, so if you like rosemary instead of basil, you could try that. You can play with it. The recipes for all of these recipes are on NOFA-NJ.org under the Festomato section. This one is actually, you know, more of just like a formula than it is a real recipe because you can have some fun with it. And, you know, you could do blueberries, peaches, another kind of fruit too. But we think this is so cool. The tomato basil flavor is really amazing. So that's all you do. Now it's the waiting game because this gets covered and goes in your refrigerator for 5 to 6 days. You can see how chunky the tomatoes are here. I'm going to show you what it looks like 5 to 6 days later. You've got now this nice liquid that has been drawn off, a syrup almost, the juice from the tomatoes and the herbs. This one actually has rosemary instead of basil, and that's what you're looking to do. You've got this and you've got your chunks of tomatoes in here still, but you've got all these nice juices. So the next step is we need to strain off the chunks of tomatoes and herbs. And you could save those. We have used those pieces, like you may not want, you put them in your compost, but you know what we like to do is chop them up and stir them into biscuits or scones. Like use those pieces of fruit. It's really nice because they're, you know, they're flavored with the sugar. They're just like nice juicy bits and you don't have to throw them away. But for the drink, we just want the syrup. So that's the next step. And I'm just gonna get a bowl now and a sieve and we're gonna strain it, okay? So we're going to now, after we've had our tomatoes and our aromatics and our sugar, and actually what you want to do too is a couple of days, stir it. You know, make sure you don't have your sugar just kind of sitting at the bottom. Stir it, make sure that, you know, everything's kind of dissolving and fusing. And then after a few days, you have this nice syrup we're going to extract, press down, to get as much of that juice and flavor out of those bits of tomatoes and herbs. We have this nice syrup now. This is the base of the shrub. It's infused with the flavor of the tomatoes and the herbs. And we are going to combine that with some apple cider vinegar. And we like to use, and I'm sorry I don't have the bottle with me to show you, but if you go to one of your you know, local health food markets or just a good supermarket too, they're gonna have a nice raw, unfiltered, organic cider vinegar, and that has a lot of health benefits in it too. So that's what you wanna use for this drink. 2 cups of our tomato basil syrup, and we're gonna add a cup. So it's 2 to 1, a cup of that good apple cider vinegar, and stir that together. And now it's a little bit of a waiting game too. I will say it's kind of like the pickles for me though. It's pretty delicious right now, We're gonna mix it, of course, with some carbonation to drink it. But a lot of people like to put this, you can put this in the refrigerator. It tends to mellow a little bit more the flavor of the vinegar if you let it sit in the fridge. And the good thing is, this is gonna sit in your fridge for like months, okay? So you've got this delicious concoction, a base to make a really delicious carbonated drink, which we're gonna mix up. So on this, the ratio that I like to use is 1 part tomato basil to 3 parts seltzer. On this, we like to do a 1 to 3 ratio. So here is our shrub syrup made from the extracted tomato basil infusion. And then we've got our vintage seltzer, or seltzer of any sort. You might have a soda stream at home, that works. And you can do, some people like to do a 2 to 1. On this particular one, I like to do a 3 to 1. It's very light and refreshing. You'll see that, you taste the aromatics of the tomatoes and the herbs coming through, but it's not too sweet because you've kind of diluted it with a lot of carbonation. But it has this really nice vinegar pop to it, which gives it this incredible refreshing finish. If you like kombucha, this is like even better, and it's amazing. So I hope that you'll enjoy it, and I hope that you'll have fun trying to make that at home as well. And get out to the farmer's market. It's August, it's tomato time, and there's so many cool things that you can do. So thanks again for joining us for the 2nd annual Festomato. It's been great.